Alright, thank you for the teacher comment. I do want to feel like your teacher, because I am teaching you something that I think is valid and very important, while drinking wine, smoking cigarettes, and having other herbs and spices and all the nicest that comes with it. So, I decided to take my description from the last video, and let's cover the things I just did. But a little bit of time has passed because I was able to recalibrate I got this video capturing software a couple days ago, guy. I haven't trusted it. I went from crappy resolution to 1080. Apparently it can't handle 1080p. I'm going to try 720p and see if 720p goes. And I resized all my windows and changed all my fonts, and we're good to go. So all these distractions that are in my way and keeping me from doing actual things are actually what's driving me insane. So yeah, I'm letting loose a little. Because I feel like I already did a day's work and I have to do it again. And you know how daunting that seems. But okay, me bitching aside. Does it work now? Is it all are you paused? Can you see me? Am I can you see that? I don't know. So we're going to talk about the first thing, which is going to be the analog tree of life. Let's keep it simple. The analog tree of life, which is over here. Now let's just go, let cue it up. The analog tree of life is, I think, a pattern that leaves the initial point of reference, follows a path. Okay, this is the path. It's a doodle you should learn. You should doodle it everywhere. Teach people how to doodle it. Kids could do this. So this is a kid-friendly video. Look, it hits a V. Goes to the 1, then goes down, then goes over, then goes down to the 8, then goes to the 6436, which is a lot like 649. 6436, 6436, 649. Down to the V again. Now do you see the V it makes? You see how this is a V here? This cell's a V. You see how it's doing V type things? Anyways, it goes back up to here, down, across to the center of the reckoner, and then we're making our leaves here. We're going from Io to the other galaxies, to Jupiter, to Saturn, which is the stem, to all the 88 stars, and then we're going to drop down and go to here. And just so we can see it better, we'll make an S here, and then we'll go up through the middle, up to here, over, making a sun. It gives light down to the base of the root as well as the leaves, and then back to here. It creates a new node here. It goes from here to here to here to create a new start here. We started here in this reckoner. And now we're going to make a new reckoner. Like Windows, that cascade. Cascade is the word I was looking for. Oh my god, that's a good word. Good thing I thought of that. Meanwhile, while that's happening, there is an underlying digital daisy. Okay? Yes, daisy. Whoa. Daisy, daisy. HAL 9000 and IBM. Remember that from, remember that? HAL? I told you guys, I made a video of this a long time ago. HAL. The HAL 9000 is just, H is 8, which is an I, 9. A plus 1 is B, which is 2. So that's plus 1, plus 1. L is 12. 12 plus 1 is M. This is not revolutionary things. But I did 9,000 one time, and I don't know what the heck. I don't know what the heck happened. Why do we do this? Go back. Am I having problems again? I don't know. Hope you see this in real time. That's the way it should be. So let me just finish off the digital daisy here. And our dirt. Gotta have the dirt centered on 322 ego. Anyway, you can have the center or not. I don't care. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the analog tree of life, and the digital daisy, flower of life, in terms of math and the reckoner. I think we did that. I think we get it sociable. Yeah, I think this is revolutionary stuff, but this is also 2020, and this is how things happen now. It's kind of a shit show. I don't know. I'm tired of talking to the wind. I talk to the wind. Look at that song. Anyway. Okay, now I found both speeds. Maybe we should timestamp these. I find both speeds of light. So that's the first speed of light. That's the speed of light that we know. As a physicist, I don't even know it by heart, but apparently that's it. I know how to do it. It's 29979, and then it's 2, and then it's like 48, or 458, make a V on the keypad. So I always know it goes 2-4, and then a V. 245, but it's like 458. That's how I remember it. I remember things by association. That's what goes on. So let's go to that. Right here. Look at that. Look, I'm so yes. Yes, I am on the ball. On the ball. So, because I think the resolution is good, this is the speed of light. Okay, 299792458. Do it on your keypad. 2458. Make a V. Now you can remember the speed of light. It's almost 300. Think the movie 300. I don't know. 1979 Smashing Pumpkins. So think the movie 300, right? Let's think the movie 300, like I Am Sparta, but like -1 because it's 1979. There's like a bunch of grunge kids in the movie 300, and you know, they need a 2-4 because they need to drink beer because probably at a house party or something. So it's 2-4, but then you need to V it because you're gonna drink OV. OV is the beer you're drinking. So make a V from the 2-4, and you get the 458 OV, and it's all circled on the D-pad. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. So, other than memorizing the speed of light, which is this, I used yellow, blue, and red. Now, yellow cells, okay, you always start from the center, so I said, okay, let's go to the ring. This is usually like a ring, but because this doesn't know math, you gotta put a 1, because a 0 is a 1 in quantum. So I started here, I said, let's go down the Roman numerals to the V, okay? And then I said, okay, I need to get to 299, there's 110 here, so I said, okay, let's just sum these. Look at this, right over here, it says sum. 299. Count of 8. 299. Boom. Sum. Alright, cool. We end here, and I was like, okay, we went down 5, and we went across 2. So I was like, okay, let's go, like, this is 3 characters, this is 4 characters. So let's go to these 3 characters, the 7, the 1, 3, and let's go up 5. And I said, okay, because this is our line of balance, to balance it out, let's hit the middle and then go 1 over. Look at that, the sum right here, 79. I got better at doing this every time I do this guy. Alright, 79. Okay, we ended at 10. And then I'm like, okay, we need 2458, we have a 2143, obviously. So I'm like, okay, let's go from the 10, let's go to the 13. Okay, and because we went from the 10, and then we went to the middle, let's go 1 over, let's go to the 2. And then let's go down the line of balance. Hook up with the 2143 and take the whole 1 of 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143. Booyah. Oh, guy. I had it all. I don't know. I clicked something. No. So 10. Geez. 10, 13, 2. These. This. 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 And this. The sum is 2468. No. Oh wait, it's not the 10. It's not the. You start at the 10, but you don't use the 10. You just go here. It was 10 over. You go middle, other side, middle, and across. I apologize. Not the 10. So 2458 is the sum. It makes sense because this would be purple if I used it. So the blue cell summed to 79 because I used these ones. Oh, 2458 because I used these ones, this one, and the bottom ones. 2458. Okay. Now, 13 is the key because 13 is brown. Brown is common to all three of these ciphers. Same thing on this side. 13 is key to all of these because I reuse this cipher, I reuse this cipher. And then when you end to 79, right, you use these. You go up to here. You go across and over. So I said, okay, what happens at 613? Let's go down one and down one. And we can't go down one because it'll be over. But I said, look, it looks like a plus. So let's add up the plus. So I said, okay, take that for this. Take that for the 1x2 pedal, 1x2 pedal, 1x2 pedal, and the center, sum is 613. Right here, boom, in Excel, sum is 613. Try it yourself, it works. And then I said to myself, you know what, one bubble of 1, of 7, of 13, of 110, of 2143 is that and is a solid number. And I was like, okay, no one knows what this number's for. So I divided that into this. But before I did that, where does 49 come from? How many cells do I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I used 29 cells in Zoom Vision. 29 cells, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. I don't know why these aren't used, or this, but yeah, you know, I don't know why. But anyways, if you take this and divide by this, like look at this. The equation is this divided by this minus 49, and you get 3858.0. I find that amazing. So I actually found a use. You know, if they wanted to tell you the actual like speed of light, they would have told you speed of light. They didn't tell you speed of light. They didn't tell you speed of light. It's not an approximation. It's not like they're off. They like fucking they mirrored the stars. They made a perfect zodiac. They followed the stars in Taurus and in Scorpio and in Leo and in the one that's an angel. That one. And it's like to the fucking day. 26,000 years. You know, like that's pretty good, pretty accurate. They're pretty accurate. They're not using the right number for the right thing. You don't know what this number is for. I just told you what this is for. There. That's that. So I think we just talked about all that. All this right here. We're good. COVID-19 name and observation. This is my old video. I will not take a lot of time on this because I've done it to death. So COVID is the next thing. I said to myself, alright, if you start from source and these are your Roman numerals, you have enough to spell COVID. Not only that, it takes 19 hops. Look, watch. 1 hop, 2 hop, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for the middle, because 13's the key, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. COVID-19. Right, we're done. We're done that. Done. Like Zinat Zwog. Alright, flatten. Alright, you have to flatten the curve first. Okay, this is kind of where I was going into it, but my thing started to suck. Flattening the curve on my order of lights being created after day 1 to 6. Alright, so all this means is that I'm thinking of flattening. I'm sick of I'm sick of hearing about certain things. I'm sick of hearing about COVID-19 and people not getting the gag or the math gag behind it, and everyone's now a fucking scientist and a doctor. That's great. I said they're flattening the curve, they're flattening the curve, they're flattening the curve. And I'm looking at my days with the creation code. I'm like, okay, day 1 has 4, day 2 is like 7, day 3 is 24, day 4 is 4, day 5 has 4, and day 6 has 3. And I'm like, that's kind of like a spike. That's a peak of amplitude on a waveform. And I'm like, if you want to flatten the curve of a waveform, you got to think more like, how do you do that? And I put the analogy of a pimple. When you get a pimple, when it reaches maximum pimple and then starts to heal after maximum pimple, it kind of like doesn't get as sticky outy, but like flattens to your face and then spreads a bit and gets all red and then eventually gets pink and then it goes away. But I think there's always a remnant that stays. So I use the analogy of popping a zit to figure out like how to flatten the curve of a bunch of lights created from the first page of the Bible, because I want to know the proper shape of the earth, and I want to know more about the religion, secret societies, sacred geometry, chakras, astrology, all your you know what? Everything we use today is basically a theory. It's based on a theory of relativity, the theory of gravity. You know, Newton had a theory. It's still a theory. It's not proven right or it's not proven wrong. It's a theory. It's a point of view, which means it can't be proven right or wrong. It is correct from a certain point of view, but when you change your point of view, it is now incorrect, or it's antiquated. And if it's antiquated, it means you have to learn from the past to create for the future. Sociable. God, that's good. Anyway, so flattening the curve on my order of luminaries was... I actually thought about this from the day one. From the day one when I started doing this whole like tree of life pattern by overlaying different amounts of reckoners on top of each other by following a path, I thought about this waveform. I said, it looks all stupid. Like, you know, my first version looked like garbage. And I was like, no. Everything is about balance in this. You're trying to balance the system. You're trying to have symmetry. You're trying to contain a black hole in three-dimensional space. You need to have perfect geometric symmetry, and every stage of evolution of the symmetry, or every step or every change that happens to the geometry or the evolution of the geometry has to be symmetric in order to contain something as a singularity to never move. It has to be perfect. So I was like, okay, let's look at the order here. And because I did it the first time, there were some certain things I knew. I knew 369 was the center of the reckoner, which was what my aim was to find at the end. I knew that after the first reckoner and the second reckoner, I remember when I went down and I went like across and up and then down 4 to where Ganymede was created, I said to myself, skip that because there's something already there and there's a 1/2 seed, so skip that one. But every iteration after, I actually went down 1, up 1, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then created it there, and then went out 1, and then up 1, and then that was the center of the reckoner. So that's basically the pattern that I used. Wow, I didn't say it in the last one. Maybe because I'm more talkative now. But let's talk about this. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what we already know. Day 1 had 4 lights, 7 lights, 24 lights, 4 lights, 4 lights, 3 lights. But I said, okay, day 7 happens. I want to flatten the curve. So when I thought about it, I thought about a pimple healing and how you want it to become flat. So when I went back to it, I said to myself, okay, this guy is got uneven, okay? He's got 4 here, 3 here, and 7 here. So there's a total of 11. But he's got 4 and 4, which is 8, 8 and 3, which is 11. So these match. So if this 3x2 matches and this 2x2 matches, I said, okay, the next iteration. See, I didn't say this in the last video. You got to make day 8 into 2 columns and day 9 into 2 columns. There. Then you get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. You went from 6 columns to 8 columns because you went double and double. Okay. Then at that point I said, how do you make this flatter? Okay, you got to make this 2 a 3, and then you break this 1 by 8 into a 1 by 9, thus having a central peak in the middle that could be your tower. So I did that. And when I did that, I also took one away from the edges, because you have to balance it out, and I wanted to balance it out nice and nice, you know? So I said, okay, I came up with this scheme. Cool. So day 18 happens, 143 is the last thing. You go to 144, trapped 144. There's actually a slide about the trapped 144 I'll get to later. Then we get this pimple. And I said, okay, we got a 3. Okay, we see how it's kind of like leveling off wider, okay, than the last one. Went from a 3 to a 5 because it's healing. It didn't go down as much, but it did go down. Okay? That's all I want to like remark about that. Then I'm like, okay, if it goes down the next one, I think that it's almost level enough that this should gain and this should gain, and we'll see what happens. So I did that. I said, let's gain and gain, but I was like, okay, if this swelling is going down, then the outside probably has to have its last hurrah, because you're putting a hole into the nucleus of the infection. So I said, okay, let's like show them a little taller, because I couldn't think of a way to balance these other than having like that the same and this up by 1. Maybe that's the way of doing it, but this could be a slight error, I don't know. From there I said to myself, okay, if this is happening, let's swell it down so that it's more balanced. And to get it more balanced without moving things, it did exactly what I thought the next thing was. And notice there's an M here, and that's the last Roman numeral. So next thing I'm going to do is just say, if it's equally balanced, the only thing to heal it is that this peak and this peak are just going to slowly move over. Slowly move over. And that's the next 2 iterations. Slowly moves over. Slowly moves over. It's still a 1 by 9. It's still a 1 by 9. The majority of them are 5 deep, and the edges and the center are the only ones. Like this is almost healed, I'd say. Like this, that's almost healed. Okay, you went from having a pimple to having it swell out. That's all you're doing. Yeah. So the next one I thought, okay, so this is day 48. Okay, we're at 383. Okay, I know that there are 48 items here. 48 plus 383 is not the... It's not the 435 that I found in my last one. I knew I was 4 off. If I'm 4 off, then I'm off by a factor of what? What's the next thing after the moon? Charon, Pluto, Triton, Nereid. It's Genesis 1. It's the first thing that ever happens. And there was light. And there was light means there's the moon of Pluto, Pluto itself, and the 2 moons of Neptune. That's it. That's all. So I said to myself, okay, if we're adding 4 to these 48, we have 52. 52 is the omega. What are the divisors of 52? 52, 51, 26, 2, 13, and 4. Okay, well, if I'm going from almost a 9, what am I doing? Almost a 9 by 5. Let's go to a 13 by 4, because if I want to go down 1 to show that the scab is healed, go from a thickness of 5 majority to a thickness of 4. The way I do that is to go 13. So I did that, and it works perfect. Not only does it work perfect, but from day 49 to day 55, where we end at 435, it actually translates to 81 columns, because we've been adding, like this used to be a 1. This used to be a 1. Now it's a 3. So, no, now it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, I should read better. But, where am I? Yes. Flattening the where's my cursor? Okay. Flattening the curve on my order of lights being created after days 1 to 6 is what I just showed you. It means pimple math. Okay? It means understanding that to flatten the original curve, where this is 24 deep and huge peak. You gotta have it, and then you need symmetry between the right hand of God and the left hand of God, where the page is God, not you ego person. And then you gotta split up the middle. You need to make 2 or 3 and keep your symmetry running. And then you need to reduce the amplitude. And when you get to the edges, and you're the majority of 5 thickness, you got to go to a 4 thickness, and the only way to do that is with the row of 13, or columns of 13. And when you add up all the columns at the end of the day, you get 81 columns. I've said it so many times, maybe I get better at saying it, but that's pretty much what I feel about all that. So, like, I think we get that point. Moving on. Okay, well, let's just say the betting site 3858 first. So, like, let's just say that, because I hope everything works. Okay, 538 sports stats, and then I get this. Sports analytics, sports, you know, they're a data company, or they take metrics. They're a big stats player, and a lot of their stuff's on stats. Whatever, they do the other thing and too, but I just like to say that either that's a coincidence that it's 538 or not. Okay, so again about this here, lovely. No. Right? I mean, that's all I want to say about that. So we flattened the curve, okay? We figured out an order that we're going to follow with our tree of life pattern. We're going to take the tree of life pattern, follow these steps in sequential system. Like one step is like the files will be this, like step 96 to 97, 102 to 106, 133 to 130. Like on this multiple day one, it'll be 3 parts, because these are steps, and these are the 81 steps it takes to get to the end of the 55 days. Now remember that the 55 days that takes to finish the sequence, according to the rules of Genesis 1 creation code, to go from here to here, but like from here to here on the end, this one says 55. So it's like making a giant V to say, like, yeah, you get it. That's like 55 is like, it's so small. There's so many pop-ups. There's so many comments on this. It's ridiculous. Anyways, maybe that's why everything's bogged down. But 55 to go from here to here. So yeah. Let's begin. So this is the last thing I want to show you, so yeah, if you want to tune out. I don't know if this is as funny or not as funny. I'm getting kind of tired of talking about it because I think it's like fact now. So I took one reckoner, which is a 9x9. I added the circle for the 69, the circle for the 9 and the 10, and then the circle for the 2x1, which is the V, and then the 30-second thing Thesis and Dion. And other than that, all I did was like create. All I did was mess up my scale. All I did was create 9x9 reckoners. After that, all I did was create squares. Like, there's the next reckoner on top. There's the next reckoner on top. And so on and so on and so on. So that's the first thing counted, that's the fifth thing counted. Apparently the center is like the 15th bubble, the way I did it. And that last thing is the 51st bubble. This first and 15 Lupier fiasco thing is kind of funny to Kevin. But, alright, day 1 happens. We go from 1 to 4 in this column. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, that's what happens. We're using Roy G. Biv. Day 2, we get these 7 things, but this is a 1. So the 9, 10 is a 1. So it goes from 4 to 5. Because 5 is orange, everything it skips is orange. So this is orange, this is orange, this is a 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9 and 10. Maybe that's the 10, but that's 11. Okay. And then from 11 we go up. End there. That we end on 36 IO. Input output. Center of the 9x9 reckoner. And then we go from here to here to here. And then we go down as blue to 41 and then over. And then we go down and over as blue. And then we go up 3 to here, because this is not a 4 anymore, it's a 3, because we've changed the pimple. There's half of day 8. We're going to go the extra 1 and the other 3 and not hit the 69. I think that's a crucial part. Not only that, but the next 4 fill up the void. Now, again, remember when I was talking about my hat. Again, I can't stress this enough. 5950. Okay, here it is. The next step, after 57, 58, this will be 59. It's the center of the reckoner, and the center of the reckoner to the center of the reckoner, where it's 50. So I'm like, what are you trying to emphasize in your corporate thing? Are you trying to use favorable numbers in math as your name of your brand because you think it has some kind of Kabbalah luck or something? Because you're being truthful and speaking in truth about creation code with an inane topic like fucking baseball hats? Or is it to get my attention so I do this? I don't know yet. I don't know what I am. Maybe I'm a prophet. Maybe I'm a math guy that's supposed to blow your minds. Anyways, and when it leaves 58, it does go to 59, which is above 50. But it also goes to here. I'm going to leave this one alone. I used to go here, but now I'm going to go down here because I want to preserve the 1. So I'm going to go to here to here to here, 64. Then you go the new reckoner. The new reckoner starts at the 64. It's the new 9x9. So it's going to go down here, over here, up here, back, 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 across, up, down. And you end here at the 71. 71 is where you end. It's where the position of the V is. So then you go 72, and then you go up 1, down 1, down 1, 73, and then you're doing the 4x4. These notes are annoying. 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, up to the V, down, down, over 79, down to 82, down to 84. 84 is input output, the end. Kind of neat that it's here. Day 10, these 4 things, the stars, 88 constellations, ends at 88. 88's here. It's never been anything else. Then you go up. This is the maple seed or the bicuspid of creation being created. Okay, it ends at 92 before 93. 93 is associated with this one. They're the same cell. Okay, 92, the sun, is 92 right here. Okay, then we go here. We go from 93 to 95. Okay, cool. 92 is 93. 93 is this. Okay, but because before we used to go down, up, and down, and then say this one is going to be the next one, I think because this is actually the point of the X. If this is the original reckoner and that's the 69, that's the ring, that's the 1, that's the V, that's the X. If I make an X here, you got to account for this guy, and this guy. That's an X. And if I do the reciprocal, you use this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So I think I'd put my position right here. So I jump from 93 via the X to 94, which is Mercury, and then 95 would be one below. So 95 would be the one below, which is right here. Okay? And then we go 96, 97. So we go 96, which is the center of the second reckoner. We're going to go over here to 97, which used to be 11 Nibiru. So 97 used to be 11. Interesting. Next tab. We go 97, 98, 99, 100, down, down, over to 101. We're done half of day 14. Next one. We're going to finish it from 102 to 106. So we're going to go 101, 102, 103, 104. Going to 5, 106. Next one. Then we're going to go 107 and we're going to go all the way up here, over here. We're going to stop at 114, Pluto. Right before the 69 of the second reckoner. Which is where 115, look, it's day 15. Step 115 is next. Huh. Like, the 11th thing created was Nibiru with the value of 5 on day 15. Anyways, that's there. It goes all the way to there, and then goes down and over. That's 124, Titan. Titan! Then it goes from Aeptus to Io. Io is 132. 132 eventually completes the 2 by 2. And then it goes out. It goes out here, up here, down here, and over here. 132. That's Io. Input output. Day 16 goes from 133 to 137. Okay, you gotta go up, down, yeah, whatever. Like, where am I? I have no idea where I am. One sec. Oh yeah, you go up, down, 133, 134, across to 135, down to 136, across to 137, and the color changes from orange to red here. So we're at 137 here. Hey, look, 137, 99, 37's still here, but 137 used to be 99. 99's cool. We go 138 to 141. Basically, 138. You go up, down, up, over, across 139, 140, 141. 141's right here. And 142, 143, big deal. And then we go to here, big deal. And then we go up to 148, 149, skip to 150, over to 151. So we're on 151. It ends up Bacardi 151 right here. Yeah. I always saw rooster here, like Kellogg's cornflakes. I didn't say that earlier. Whatever. Okay. From 152 to 157, we end up here. It follows the same pattern. 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 It just follows the same pattern. I don't want to get into it too much. I want you to see it. So it follows the same pattern. Okay. I did it twice. This one, like, all these things are notes of what they used to be. I went step by step. I went as slow as I possibly could. I know the path. I've done everything I can to document it. It just keeps going on and on. The colors are cycling properly via the Roy G. Biv solution that is my legend. It just keeps going. And you can do this at home. Look, it's coming out doing that path again. You've seen that path before. I guess we're on the second last reckoner. Look, we just made the little blip. I went over, down, went up and over. Where am I? 335. Oh no, it ended here. 335 it ended? 335 it ended. My bad. Oh yeah, well, you went up to make that purple, but you ended here. My bad. Then you do a bunch of that stuff. See, I tried to make like an M here, like going up like an M. But you still get there, and then you go over one, then you go up one, and then you do a loop down to here, which is Tatiana. Same pattern, guys. It's just happening again and again and again. And I hope you see it when it's happening this fast, because I tried to make it this fast last video, but it just didn't work because, I don't know, computers and bits and bytes. So we know this path, guy. Just trust me on what it's doing. You don't need to know how the lawnmower works. Okay, are we almost near the end here? I want to slow down. Okay, we're at 400. So okay, we're in here. Okay, 400, and then we go. Where are we? 399 is orange. 399. Oh, 400, 401. Oh, we're doing this again. 402. So we're, what are we doing? What are we doing? So 398. That's Ganymede. And then we go to Callisto, Europa, Io, the other galaxies, Jupiter, and we stop at Jupiter. The next one after Jupiter is Saturn, but we didn't get there yet. There. Saturn. The stars. Down one, over one. What's this? That's the moon of Mars. Normally, but it's not here. I'm just saying the pattern that I follow based on this one is what I'm saying. You get used to this pattern, guy, after you do as much as I did. Okay. Hey, look, 401. Yeah, you have a 401k. Check this out. Alright. You see how you go to 415 here? 415 is right here. It's where the 401 used to be. See? 401k. Why is it 401? It's the last thing I actually covered. Before the return path, which is its own path that's never been used before, the last thing, the last cell in the path of this is 415 or 401. Now even better than that, watch this. In Ottawa, we have a highway called the 416. We also have a highway called the 417. That looks like a highway. Actually, the 417 is bigger than the 416 in Ottawa. We don't have a 418 or 419 highway, but we have these highways. And there's your 401k for Americans. I find it hilarious. There's creation code everywhere. Then we go from here to here. Since we're in these days, everything's a step of 4. Watch. Okay, ready? 4. From here to here. 4 to here. 4 to here. 4 to here. We're one above the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the final 4 to get to there. Anyways, there's lots of things I can say. At the end of the day, there's 157 cells accounted for that are colored out of the possible. There are 26 empty. That's like the omega. 157. 157. Where is that? 157. Right here. A circle with a slash through it, a 5 and a 7. Okay? It looks a lot like a 1.57. 1.57 plus 1.57 is 3.14, and that's the beginning of pi. And that's what this is doing. This is just screaming pi everywhere it is, okay? This whole thing, I found pi in it so many ways, and there are videos, but it's important, but I don't know right now. This thing is just all about pi. All about pi. So, I don't know what to say, man. Kinda ranting. Where am I? A summary of 10 hours of double checking. I think I just did that. My tree of life walkthrough. An original reckoner and 6 overlays to complete a feedback loop. I think I just covered that. So right now... Hey, I did in 46 minutes. It's less long and covers more, and I'm not as retarded. Even though it seems like it starts off like I'm going to be really retarded, but I'm not. I'm just kind of annoyed, man. I've been finding some cool shit. And I think that, like... Dude, I think the flattening the curve stuff was, like, pretty badass there. This stuff here. I'm, Come on, that's thinking outside the box, okay? If we forget about the big spike over here and just look at this stuff, you see it flattening, guy. You see it flattening, so it's just a way of understanding how to achieve balance and stepping through it. And we stepped through it, so I did a lot more than I thought. Oh yeah, in my last video, I covered this. Alright, let's do that next. So, let's get rid of this. No, I have a better idea. I have a better idea. You just take this and put it. Where did I put it? What am I doing? There. Alright, so let's just do this. Okay, we want to know why there's 3,858 magnets in a cellular energy device. Alright, let's do this. So, on a cube there are 6 faces and 8 vertices. Because the faces are bigger, they do more work than the vertices because they're smaller if you're talking about spinning magnets around solenoids. So, in order to make them balanced, you have to have less faces than vertices. So that equals 18, and that equals 40. So altogether, you have 58 wheels needed. So if every wheel has 42 magnets on the outside and 8 magnets on the inside, like a poppy, okay? Like every poppy ever seen ever has 1 petal, 2 petal in duality, 3 petal, 4 petal in duality, with a center. It only so happens that the center has 8 little things, like no thumbs, 8 little things, and the outside is 1 petal, 2 petal, 3 petal, 4 petal, and they're embossed in a duality. I know they emboss them with a lot more stuff these days, but there's a duality. So I always thought there's 42 on the outside, and the middle dot has 8, so it's like 42 and 8. So 42 and 8 equals 50, right? And if you have 50 magnets on a wheel, but you have 6 faces with 3 wheels each, and you have 8 vertices with 5 wheels each, so you have 58 wheels, and you have 50 magnets a wheel. What is that? 58 times 50. 2,900. Okay. And if you understand the middle being like an X y, z axis with an angle one way and an angle the other way, you can think of a perfect circle having 36 quadrants, because it means 9, which is balance, times 4. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants, it's 36. But in order to have wheels spinning, you have to have 4 bearings for that plane. Doesn't matter if it's XY, XZ, YZ, doesn't matter. VW, doesn't matter. So really you only have 32 possibilities for magnets on the interior pivot point, because you need a bearing and a bearing in order to have something spin, because you gotta have 2 pivot points where the bearings are, so an axle can twirl and you can put wheels on that axle. So if you're going to have the interior being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 center, and then when the cell grows and the walls are square like a cube and they have a bearing, then you have 2 pivot points for your wheels to spin. So let's take your perfect circle center 36, make it have space for those 4 bearings, so you only have 32 on 5 axles. That's 160 magnets on the interior, but those axles, at the end of the axles, there's going to be a magnet at the end. And since you're going to have 6 faces and 8 vertices, you're going to have 14 total magnets at the end, so you're going to have 174 magnets. So our total is 2,900 and 174. But we haven't thought about that's 3074. But we haven't thought about the box kite, and I think the box kite dimensions are going to be a grid of, like a box kite. Like if you take a cardboard box, cut the top and bottom off, and then put that over the whole device, and it has a grid of magnets and coils that I understand how to do, that I want to talk about. Let's say that it's a 14 by 14 grid, and you have 4 sides. That equals 768, I believe. And 768, or 3074 plus 768. It's getting dark. No, what is it? (14 times 14 times 4). 784. Jeez. So you don't even know what I'm doing half the time. But I know how to get to it if I need to. That's why I don't have to memorize anything. Alright, what's that then? Because it's here. Oh, look at that. I'm shocked. I am shocked. So, yeah, like, that's why there's a box kite, a grid of magnets on top of a node that has a bunch of wheels, like 3 deep on the faces, 5 deep on the vertices, all working in conjunction with themselves and everything else around them. Maybe there's 5 or 6 stations of these things happening, but, you know. Alright, I'm still under an hour, and I talked about even the construction of the thing. And the other thing was, yeah, like comments. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if the internet's working. I've been doing this for another hour. I haven't checked. Like, dude, I'm sorry that my other thing is shit. I'm pretty embarrassed myself. Trust me. I don't like working hard and having nothing to show for it. Or what am I doing? Is it fast or slow? I don't know. I'm already there. Hardly working. What is this? Yeah, when I did the, you know, like when I hope you guys watched the videos I've been watching. Go watch that pyramid video and go watch the AlphaGo versus whatever for Go. Like watch the AlphaGo video and watch the pyramid video, but I know, like, weird. I don't know anything about Go, but apparently, like, the Grand Master, the human being that they challenged, he was a 9 Dan. Now, a 9 to me is just 9 whatever. It's just 9 circled. 9 by 9, right? A reckoner. So I hear 9, I go reckoner, but then Dan is like DNA to me, so I'm like, cool. But, I don't know what this is. I'm not preaching. What is this? I don't even know what's going on. But what did I do? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, IBM. Yeah, that's right. I read your mind because I know what's going on with the world. I have a pulse. So, whatever. Everything is Looney Tunes, guys. Everything is Looney Tunes. That was on my face the whole time. So, I don't know. Take it for what you will. Hope this works. But, yeah, like, at the end of the day, I found a reason. Like, there's, like, little eurekas and there's eurekas that you, like, feel really, like, at awe with. And after all that I've said and done, to find a random number derived from the pyramids that no one really knows what it means, but it's almost the speed of light, within a minute of me sitting here thinking about it, and I took a bigger number and I just did a division and I looked at it and I was like, that's really fucking close. How close is it? The 49ers won the Super Bowl this year. No, they lost. Did they lose? Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs. Whew! Secret stuff, guy. Almost had me. Oh, don't touch your face. Anyways. I'm more and more humbled every time I talk to myself in my little prison. I mean room, I mean cell.